What is up, everybody? Moon here, bringing another clip of some Black Ops 3. I do believe I go like 68 or 67 in like 20. Some really good gameplay. First round, you guys can look at the score while I'm talking. Because today, story time. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking. I did mention this down in the comments in one of my other clips from a couple days ago. That I'll be doing a story time about how my father lost his eye. Because I thought that would be a great idea. I mean, I did not ask my dad, so Dad, somehow you find the video I ever tell you about it, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you do allow this, but without further ado, let's get into this. All right, let's talk about this. And to start off by saying this, I have to talk about the year. Okay, so it's I believe it was around 1992 or 3, where the war in Bosnia started. And if you guys don't know what Bosnia is, just a little country across Italy, kind of nearby Croatia, a little bit also nearby Germany, like that. It was just a small war, but even though it was a small war, it was pretty deadly, and it did cause a lot of mayhem. It was very controversial at the time because people didn't really know how to react. So did America. They didn't know what to do. But speaking about the war, my father was in it, sadly, and he had experienced some things that I wish he hadn't. But because he did, that did make him, I mean, to me, I think that made him a little more a better person and thoughtful, I guess. Because I guess that's what the war does to you. I mean, I would assume that it would happen like that. It would make you a more thoughtful person and more patriotism for your country and all that. So, war. Well, to start this off by saying my father was a commander of 400 men, because Bosnia wasn't really a how do I say this, in a they were more, this country's I mean, not this country, my country, our country, I guess, because you guys Bosnia, whatever, was really farmers, to be honest. There weren't really, I mean, there were a couple mechanics and workers in business companies, barely though, like in the city of Sarajevo, and maybe a couple places nearby, but this was mainly farmers. And these people living like back in the day, just like a peaceful life. These people lived in harmony. I swear to you guys, I read a book about it. I think her name is Janie Anthem or something like that. It was like, or Simi Janie, and she's like an American who lived in Bosnia with her family, like back in like 1901. So it's just like an old book. So the country, Bosnia was a very peaceful country and all this. And then so when this war happened, it was just basically, I don't want to talk too much about this because I want to talk about my dad's story before my time is up. It's really hard to talk about in this short amount of time. But okay, the war started, and it was about like independence. Basically, it was wanting to end this thing called Yugoslavia, which you guys can learn about if you guys want to. It doesn't matter. But as for the story, my father was in a boot camp when the war started, or I think before the war started. He was in a boot camp to train, basically. And the army came basically to the school and said, we need more recruits. We have people who we don't basically have enough people to keep fighting. We need people from the school, which is filled with some kids and some men, maybe to 21, some even 17. My father was, I believe he was like 18, 19 at the time, maybe even 20 somewhere. And funny story, the reason why he was a commander of 400 men was because of this, because he raised his hand and said, yes, I'm gonna go. He was the first person to say that, and the people, the army people and the commanders there were like, oh shit, okay, you come in, yeah, okay. And because of that, he was just commander 400 men. It was that simple, to be honest, because nobody really wanted to go. And you guys should have seen it. I mean, I didn't see it, of course, because I was born. Jeez, but he was probably, when he was talking about it, it seemed like nobody wanted to go, really, to be honest. But after he did, some of his friends did, because his friends were like, okay, I can't let my dad named Faldo leave to the war without me. I can't leave him. He's my friend. So they raise their hands, and then they kind of get their ranks basically, since they were also not the first ones, but second, third, maybe fifth, like that, etc. So when my father was a commander, he was deployed back in Bosnia and more upper north in Bosnia, and I believe it was Chazin, or maybe I think it was northeast. Yeah, northeast to Bosnia. You guys look at the map at the time. I don't know if you guys have a laptop, want to look it up, but okay. He was in the northeast, and he was commanding the men to go kind of uphill. Sorry, my dog is really, I don't know why he's whining, but he was going northeast, and he was prepared to rush. He was prepared. He knew what was over here. He knew what it was. The land was kind of occupied by the Serbians at the time. That's what they were fighting. So while they were walking to fight, basically they were getting, I think my father told me they were getting shot at, I believe, from pretty far away. I think it was not by a sniper, but I think he said from just assaults. They tried to shoot him from far distance, but they decided to just run for it. And then they didn't know, but my father was running, and then he heard an explosion. Or actually, he looked to the right and saw his best friend that was with him, kind of not too far away, but kind of distant, like maybe 30-40 feet, and a mine blew off. He saw his best friend step on a mine, and it blew off and tore his whole leg off. Yeah, guys, he told me it was just clearly off, and he was like bleeding heavily at the time. And so my father rushed to him. He picked him up and ran backwards to get him to safety. So then after he'd done that, he could run forward. But when he ran back, my dad also stepped on a mine, but thankfully, it did not deploy. I guess not really deploy. How do I say this? It didn't explode. Okay, there we go. It had a delay. The explosion had a delay, and when my father was running, he noticed it had a delay. He was like, "Wow!" He noticed he stepped on a bomb or mine because he heard it click. And while he was running, at a couple feet away, he turned around and he was like, "Whoa, this is weird seeing, or not seeing that, but hearing that." And then he turned around because he was kind of like, "Whoa, that was weird." And why did it go off? And it did go off, and it went up in the air, exploded, and was one of those types. And a shrapnel, a piece of rock, threw right at him and hit him right in the eye. And he ran with it in his eye the whole time because he didn't know, because he was in so much shock. Like it hit him so quickly, and it hit him, and like he didn't feel no pain because he was in shock somehow, and it was the weirdest thing ever. And he ran to the base, took him to safety.
Then everybody was kind of like, "Hey, whoa, dude, you have something in your eye." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And he figured out, and he eventually patched it up, but it was too late. Couldn't do nothing with it. And now he kind of has a prosthetic eye. Prosthetic eye. And so, that's it. I guess that's all he would tell me. And if you guys like the clip, please give a like and subscribe. Sorry, it might change a bit. I don't know why it's shitty now. Sorry, I'll try to fix it later. Next clip, but like and subscribe, comment. Want me to check out your channel, and I'll see you guys later. All right, Moon out.